which was an amazing price. I am super happy about that. Probably is the most expensive one, so don't do the same mistakes as us. If you're renting a camper van, another very important thing to know. So we had mixed feelings. I mean, it was nice to stay in the parking lot legally for free. There was a strong smell of sulfur here because we had to pay 50 euros extra just because we had an early flight, so be aware of that. Hi everyone, and welcome to another travel video in which I want to present to you how much we spent in our 7-day Iceland trip, and I bet you will be surprised because it was so much less than we expected. But be aware that we also traveled on a budget and during off-season, so these things can change a lot how much you pay. But anyways, I also want to tell you that all my videos from Iceland, the travel vlogs from everywhere where we went, on the ring road and also on the Golden Circle, are on my YouTube channel right now, and I will leave the link down below in the comments if you want to check that out. And also in general, if you want to discover amazing places from all over the world, please make sure you subscribe. I have been to 55 countries so far, and on this channel I'm sharing with you the good, the bad, and what you should avoid, what you should do, and so on. But back to our video, let's start with each category and how much we paid for everything. So for the camper van, we chose a company that is called Cozy Campers, and I am super happy with our decision because they had a very affordable price and also they were super serious. We had an automatic camper with full insurance included for just 1,012 euros for 7 days, which was a very good price compared to other sites where I looked. The initial price was 1,200 euros, but I found a voucher online and I was able to get a better price, but I am not sure if they have that discounts all the time, so make sure you just email them and ask. And for the flights, we flew from London and round trip with Wizz Air. It was just 50 euros, which was an amazing price, and I am super happy about that. But this was just my case. For example, if you are flying from the US or Canada or another European countries or outside of the one mentioned, it could be a lot higher based on where you're from, but you probably already know that, and you can look for flights on Skyscanner or Google Flights to make sure you find the best price possible. Then for the parkings, we have 2 5 euros parkings, 2 7 euros parkings, and 1 6 euro and another one with 3 euros. And we paid using the app Parka, which I think is the official app for the parkings in Iceland, and that was pretty easy. But about the parkings in Iceland, if you are renting a camper or a car, just know that in the majority of the places you will not have to pay for parking, which is amazing. We were really surprised about it, but there were some places, mostly the most touristic ones, where you had to pay for the parking. For example, we only paid for parking 6 times, but we visited so many places, so be aware of that. And also in a lot of parkings the toilet is not free, so also keep that in consideration. Even though the parking is free, the toilet may not be free or even present at all. Next category, which is huge, the supermarkets. We went to Kronan 3 times and we paid 60 euros, 38 and then 6 euros, and then to bonus we paid 25, and I will add to a total at the end of the video. I will not do it now because I just want to present you everything that we paid for separately. But the supermarkets were pretty expensive. As you know, Iceland is a pretty expensive country, but that is fine. In general, all the Nordic countries are pretty expensive, so make sure you budget accordingly. We did not eat out except in 2 places. We got some hot dogs in a very famous place in Reykjavik, and that was 11 euros, and we also get some pastries from another very famous place in Reykjavik, and both the hot dogs and the pastries were super good. I will leave the places on the screen in case you want to go. I fully recommend them. And for the pastries we paid just 10 euros. Anyways, all those prices that I'm talking to you about, they are for 2 people because we are a couple traveling. So at the end I will just split it in 2 to know the cost per person. The next category is for gas, and this is another very important one if you want to rent a car or a camper, just so you know how much you will spend if you want to do the entire ring road and also the Golden Circle. We went to N1 and we paid 28 euros twice, then 85 euros and 8, then to Atlantisolia I think it is called, and we paid 100 euros, and the last one was close to the airport, and that one I think it was also more expensive than the other ones, and we paid 151 euros. euros. Maybe we were also running out of gas because we were so close to the airport, I don't know, but in general avoid putting too much gas close to the airport, because in every place I think on earth the gas station close to the airport probably is the most expensive one, so don't do the same mistakes as us. If you're renting a camper van, another very important thing to know about the costs are the camping sites. And I want to tell you that because we travel during off season, so in March 2024, a lot of campsites were closed and we were able to park for free. For example, the one in Vik is open just during summertime, but you will not have access to showers and to toilets and to the kitchen. So we had mixed feelings. I mean, it was nice to stay in the parking lot legally for free, but we also needed the amenities. So there were, I think, 3 nights in which we didn't stay at the campsite, and the ones where we stayed and we paid, and I have them presented in my vlogs, are the Selfos campsite, which was 30 euros, the Hof campsite, which is 30 euros also, and then Verin campsite, and this one was 28 euros, so it was a bit cheaper. And the last one was close to Mývatn in the north of Iceland, and it was called Vogar, and we paid for this one 36 euros, so this one was a bit more expensive, but I really loved it. It was very nice. There was a strong smell of sulfur here because it's in a thermal area, so get used to it or get farther away from Mývatn if that is too bad for you, the sulfur smell. But in general the campsite was pretty okay. And then another category is for the transport. We paid for a taxi from the Cozy Campers to the bus stop that goes to the airport. That was 26 euros, and the bus from there to the airport was 31 euros. In general, with Cozy Campers, the transfer from the airport is free, but only during their work hours, which is pretty sad because we had to pay 50 euros extra just because we had an early flight, so be aware of that. That is a pretty big downside, but they explained to us how we can get to the airport in the cheapest way possible, so I guess that was pretty okay. Then we went to Icewear to get some souvenirs, and there we paid 26 euros and 60 euros the second time. And the last category is for extra small things. I don't know what we paid here. I just found the transactions and they are pretty small. They are 5 euros, 6 euros, 8 euros and 7 euros. So with this we are done with each cost specifically, and let's see the total. So these prices are for 2 people including the flights, and I will split them up a bit later. So the costs for 2 people for 1 week in Iceland were: for the flights from London 100 euros, for the camper van 1012 euros, for the parking 33 euros, for the supermarket 129 euros, for eating out it was just 21 euros because we did not do that very often. At the campsites we paid 124 euros. They are pretty expensive and we did not even stay a lot. We stayed only 4 nights. If we stayed for longer it would have been almost double, so keep that in mind. And I think during summertime they are even more expensive. For gas we paid 373 euros, which is a lot, but we drove so much, so that was understandable. For the transport to the airport it was 57 euros. For souvenirs it was 42 euros. For small extra stuff it was just 28 euros. If you're wondering how I know all these prices, some of them I remember, some of them I have noted down here because I looked at all the transactions we had from this trip. Anyways, the big and final total for 2 people is 1,919 euros. So per person it was 960 euros, which is $1,125 per person. I'm sorry if I'm spelling the numbers weird, but obviously I'm not a native English speaker, so I'm trying my best. Anyways, leave down below in the comments what you think about this price. Do you think it's a lot for 7 days or is just a very low number? Because in my opinion we did an amazing job traveling on a budget, and I hope this video was useful to you. Some small recommendations for me if you want to keep on a budget: just make sure you cook a lot so you don't eat a lot out. And there are a lot of foods that are very easy to cook if you don't want to spend a lot of time. For example, lentils, pasta, and a lot more you can find on the internet. And also with the campers, make sure you just open in your browser a lot of websites that offer this service and compare the prices, because this is what I do to get the best possible price. And also, if you can, just travel off season, but be aware that in Iceland traveling off season is pretty risky because you could get closed roads and bad weather. When we traveled in March March 2024. If you want to take a look at my videos, you will see that we had an amazing weather, but just 1 week later it was full of snow and closed roads, so you just need to get very lucky. And if you are traveling during summer, you should expect the prices to be a lot higher. I think they are even double or maybe even 3 times higher than what I'm saying here, so keep that in mind and don't let that be a surprise for you. Iceland is a very expensive country, but a very beautiful country. In my opinion, it is 100% worth visiting. It's one of my favorite countries and it is so beautiful. If you go there, make sure you are respectful to nature and just enjoy it, because it's really a once in a lifetime type of trip. Anyways, if you found this video useful, please don't forget to like it and also to subscribe. I would really appreciate that. I appreciate each one of you that are following my videos, and I thank you so much again. My next videos will be with how much we spent in Madeira and in Azores, and a lot of vlogs are coming from Norway, the Faroe Islands, Scotland, New Zealand, Australia, and so much more. So make sure you subscribe not to miss that, and see you in the next video. Bye bye!